That was my celebration. Time to go home. No, I'm kidding. I'll be with you guys in a minute. Guys, if I told the 10-year-old me 10 years ago that I'd be here today doing this, I don't know what my reaction would be. I'm just getting started and I'm already speechless. There's so much to go over. I'm gonna start from the beginning and just be myself and tell the story. And then I'm gonna tell my top 10 favorite videos I filmed over the last 10 years. And then I'm gonna end it giving away a copy of my grandpa book. I'll sign it and send it to you personally. So I started filming YouTube videos 10 years ago, but fun fact, I've actually been making videos since I was 6 years old. So technically June 2011 I started, but the YouTube channel started 10 years ago. I remember when I was really little, I had specific issues and trauma with a lot of the movies I watched, and I ended up cutting off a lot of the content that I watched. And soon after that, my dad gave me a video camera to film with. I would film videos for hours a day in my bedroom with my toys. I would do personal vlogs, and I would always have a wild imagination that I was playing basketball or something on TV. Because I stopped watching the movies that I grew up with, I started creating my own personal content that was really just for my own entertainment. For 4 years, I just spent so much of my time walking around our house, just, vlogging, filming videos, and just having fun. I ended up putting those vlogs on DVDs that I would watch on my TV. To this day, I actually still have about 60 of those DVDs in my room. I would always love to act and do plays in front of my family.
Charlie Brown, oh Charlie Brown, is the biggest football game of the year. And it would be an honor for you to come and kick the field goal at the football game.
It's time I kick that football to the moon!
I loved America's Funniest Videos, and I tried to imitate slapstick, even if I wasn't very good at it. And with watching those old videos that I made and how fun they are to look at, it's also a little bit embarrassing. So we're gonna just end it there. So fast forward to 4 years later, I was in my basement at my house with some Legos, and I started to make a Lego stop motion video after I watched Michael Hickok's, one of my, first inspirations. I love that guy. And my neighbor who lived down the street, Devin, he was also somebody who helped me make my very first video.
Sorry, sir, but here are the weapons.
Devin, I don't know if you are watching this right now, but if you are, just know that you will always be the other original creator of the channel. You might not even remember who I am or that I even exist, but you probably don't realize what this has become. I opened up a YouTube channel and I named it JBP500, and a lot of people ask me, why did you name it that? And the answer, I really don't know. JBP stands for my initials. The 500, I don't really know why. I'm pretty sure though it was because I had a friend who I used to play a game with, and his username was his initials, and then there were some numbers after that. So I think that's what inspired me to do it that way. I started making more videos every day after school, and my school teacher, I was homeschooled by the way, if none of you know that, but my school teacher would help me, write stories once in a while. She was a big help for most of the stuff I did, actually. It was always great. We have a great relationship. I still see her to this day. And over time, I kept making videos and things kept getting more and more successful. I added more characters and I got more followers. I started my own Lego series called Kitty. My sister would play the cat and I would play all the rest of the characters. That was a really big hit.
All right, Kitty, before we go to bed, I'm going to read you a story.
Stories.
My favorite character was Dr. Longbottom. His character actually came from a prank call that one of my neighbors used to do when she would prank call people all the time. She would literally repeat the same script over and over again over the phone.
Hello, my name is Dr. Longbottom, and I am here to help you today. CPR!
So that's where I got the character idea. The Kitty series went on for 21 episodes and 2 movies, so that was pretty cool. I remember when I transitioned from Lego videos to the live action videos like the Grandpa series, for example. It was hard at first because I could not find any actors to be in my videos. I always asked my friends and my neighbors if they wanted to be a character, and they ended up thinking it was a dumb idea and didn't want to be a part of it at all. And after a very long time of trying to convince them, I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to do it all myself. I'm going to play every single character. I'm going to do all the filming, all the editing. And that's when the Grandpa series was created.
Grandpa?
Oh, hey, Sonny. How was your trip? You look very exhausted.
You know, over time, I've gotten pretty used to the idea of doing the Grandpa series all by myself. I love always including people. And I have done that before. My friend Jacob's been in a few of the episodes, and I did a full episode once with 9 friends in it. But I also really like the alone time I have to film those videos, and it's just kind of cool what it's become, because it's almost like I'm watching my own imagination or something where everybody is played by the same person, and it's me. It's a one-man show that's become so much more, and I really don't know how else to describe it. I got a question recently that I wanted to answer on here. Do you struggle to keep motivation? Your passion often needs dedication/discipline, but also motivation. How do you maintain both when it comes to continually putting out videos? There's been several times in my life where, you know, I've told myself that there's no way I'm going to keep doing this. I, at one point, was posting 1 video a week, which was a lot. I mean, I was in school, so, you know, I didn't have work or anything, but to put a full edited video out once a week is a lot of work. And I remember in September 2019, my sister and I went to this party, and on the car ride there, I told her, Mallory, I think I'm going to be done with YouTube after this year. I think that 2020 is going to mark the end of it. And she was kind of surprised, but, you know, I meant it. I was serious. You know, when we get to this party and I walk into the house, and like all of a sudden a bunch of little kids run up to me. They're giving me hugs. They're like, I know you play Mr. Fritter, or your trick shots are fake, which is a compliment, by the way, because that means that they're really good. And they were just the whole night following me around, sitting next to me. They were talking to me. And on the way home from that party, I was like, I can't stop. I realized that there's so much more in this whole thing than just me and my satisfaction. You know, I started this because I had a rough childhood with content. I've noticed that not only I've made a difference for myself, but I'm making a difference for a lot of other children. I've also gotten a lot of negative comments over the years. But when I see a kid watching my videos and I'm making a difference in their life, the negativity literally blacks out. Like, I would do this if I didn't even get paid for it. Because I am witnessing children who are having something wholesome to watch, and I take responsibility as somebody who is a believer in Messiah. And if children are going to be watching my videos, I want it to be a good thing. I want my videos to have a purpose for more than just myself. And as far as the negative comments go, my sister's always told me there's nothing wrong with negative publicity, and in all honesty, negative people are actually kind of hilarious. I mean, I literally get comments all the time on TikTok and Instagram of people like just, you know, messaging some kind of comment about something I did that they didn't like, and I literally burst out laughing. Like, you literally spent 2 minutes of your time texting that when you could have put your phone away and went and ate a cookie or something. Okay, that's how you want to live. But I always go back to, you're doing this for the kids, and I'm getting more and more messages from parents. They're thanking me for creating wholesome content that's safe to watch. I get pictures of kids reading my book, or someone sends me a video of the whole family watching a movie that I made.
Thanks, bro.
What in the world?
You're welcome, bro.
Or just any video from a friend, really.
Hi Jackson, I just wanted to say hi and congratulate you on your 15K views. That's pretty big, which is amazing, and nice job on your video. Very nice.
Sock keep tick and skeeter off your feet. In the winter they're warm and give your toe heat.
That's when my motivation, you know, starts spinning again. Like, I'm like, this is why I do this. You know, it's not just for myself. It's not for, you know, getting a couple views or a couple of dollars off this. I'm making a difference. And even on the days where I don't like filming, I just remember, you know, love is a commitment, and I love my job, and some days it's going to be rough, but I'm committed to doing it. So in February 2019, my mom asked me to enter this contest for this company called Harvest Right. They make these freeze dryers that freeze dry food. And so she asked me to create a Lego video talking about the freeze dryer, and I did it, and I entered it. I was competing against a bunch of adults, and I ended up winning the contest. And because my video was the best one, my mom ended up winning a $1,500 pump for her freeze dryer. That was sort of my first sponsorship I ever did, except I won a freeze dryer pump. Later on in 2019, I started to have issues with editing videos and learning how to do stop motion on better software. So I started writing letters to Michael Hickox and I started emailing him, and he actually responded. He gave me a whole bunch of helpful instructions on how to do certain editing. And a few months later, he actually sent me a box full of Legos and wrote me a letter that I still have to this day. It was really cool. He even gave me his autograph. And that was a really special moment for me and my channel. One of the guys I've looked up to for the longest sent me a letter and all that. So Michael actually has a question that he wanted me to answer on this video. He wants to know, will there be a Lego mini golf revival? Michael, if you're watching this video and you want to do a Lego stop motion collab, I would be down for that. You only live a few hours away from me, so let's do something. I'll get my Legos back out and we can do a little video. So after 2019, COVID hit and I missed some school. So I had a lot of spare time to make some extra videos, and I found out that my local news station was doing this trick shot contest. And so I emailed the guy and I entered one of my trick shots, and he told me that there were over 200 entries. So I sent him my trick shot, not really knowing what would come out of it, and 6 days later, this happened.
It's time now for our trick shot challenge, and this one, trust me when I say, impressive in more ways than just one. Jackson Pollock starts it off with a finger slingshot. He then gets a bullseye with the cup, and the ball follows. Come on, man. So much had to go right, and Jackson nailed it. Bravo. Think you could beat that?
Yeah, so that was a really crazy moment. Wow. For the rest of the year in 2020, I just kept making videos and getting better. And in early 2021, I got a job on a golf course. Which, if you know me in real life, I love golf. It's the best sport out there. And I was super excited to be doing this part-time. And thankfully, the guys there liked me because I was a little bit of a disaster. They asked me if I could weed whack their rose bushes, and I thought they meant literally, and I destroyed them. I set the holes hard on the greens to make the golfers mad. And I did some other things, but we're just not going to talk about that right now. But one of the great things about working there was I also got free golf. And one day I was out there and I got to this small hole, and I thought to myself, I bet I could hit a hole-in-one on this hole. And so for a couple of days, I just kind of pondered on that idea. And I confronted my boss and said, hey, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I make YouTube videos. I wanna do a golf trick shot video here if you're okay with that. And he said, absolutely. And then I said, I also would like to know if you're okay with me coming out here early in the morning to try and hit a hole-in-one. And he looked at me and was like, I've gotten 3. And I'm like, good. And he goes, in the last 25 years. And I'm like, okay, well. And so the next day I go to work and all the employees think I'm crazy. They're like, you really think you're that good? And I'm like, well, I believe I can with a lot of time and faith. The chances of a professional golfer making a hole-in-one is 1 in 2,500. For a normal average golfer like me, 1 in 12,500. I set out to hit a hole-in-one on the golf course hoping that the odds were wrong. My dad and I went out there at 6 a.m. and I had about 300 golf balls. It was the 6th hole on the course, so this gave us some time before any other golfers started coming through. The hole was a par 3, 85 yards, pretty close to a football field long. We went out there early and I started hitting shots.
It's like 6 in the morning right now and I'm on the golf course.
We would go out there and wait until daylight so the camera could see the ball. Then I would hit shots for a few hours until the golfers reached us. My dad would help by walking around and fixing the divot marks that the balls made. He also helped rebound the golf balls. This also took place during a very bad mosquito plague in our hometown. I never made it the first day we went out, so we had to come back the next week. The only problem? Every week the hole was in a different place. Every week that I went out, I was getting closer and closer to the hole, but I still wasn't making it. As time went on, it also got harder and harder because, autumn arrived, it was getting a lot colder outside, and the sun was not coming out as early as it used to be, so we had less time to hit golf balls. But every week I was there, I started hitting that flag. Oh! And there was one shot that I hit that made me almost quit the whole thing. Oh! The chances of that happening are, I don't even know what the chances are of that happening, but it was encouraging, but it was also depressing at the same time. I remember one morning I went out there and there was a quote from one of my favorite movies, Facing the Giants, that popped into my head.
And if we win, we praise him. And if we lose, we praise him. Either way.
And after that popped into my head, I kind of went out there every day with a different attitude. Not that I was, having a bad attitude beforehand, but, at the end of the day, a hole-in-one doesn't mean anything. It's just a story that you tell people. And our greatest fear in life should not be a failure, but a succeeding at things that don't matter. So I went out there and I started saying, Father, if I make this shot, I'll praise you. And if I don't make it, I'll still praise you. We went out there and it was October, 3 months later, and the course was going to be closing for the season. And there was something different about this week. I started hitting shots and I wasn't even going close to the hole. The ball would go 50 yards into the tree line and then 50 yards into the other tree line, and then I would just barely touch it and it would go 3 yards in front of me. So I was hitting shots and they were just going everywhere, nowhere near the green. And about 8:15, there was a golfer through the tree line on hole number 3. He was about 15 minutes away from reaching the hole we were on. And immediately I just was like, this isn't gonna happen. And so I start rushing around and I grab a bag of balls. And I go back over to the tee box and my dad starts texting our family. And the text message that he was typing was, please pray that Jackson makes this shot. And I'm praying in my head, if I make this, I'll praise you. If I don't make it, I'll still praise you. Because he is worthy, no matter what. And I put the first golf ball on the tee box and take one swing.
Yes! Oh my gosh. What I'm more excited about is I don't have to get up at 5:30 every morning to come out and do this anymore. I can sleep in! Yes!
And after 3,000 shots in 27 hours, he did it.
I just watched God do a miracle through you. Now you tell me what's impossible with God.
Nothing, Coach.
Are you positive?
Positive, Coach.
So am I. So am I.
Matthew 19:26, but Yeshua looked at them and said, with man this is impossible, but with Yahweh all things are possible. And that was one of those moments in my life where he allowed me to do something really cool, but I woke up the next morning and I realized once again that hitting a hole-in-one does not define who I am. He defines who I am. I really wish that I had another camera going from my POV in that moment, because from my angle, the golf ball was just this little white dot and I thought it stopped rolling, but the next thing I knew, it just disappeared and my dad was behind the camera and he just threw his arms up and just screamed. And to this day, legend says that the scream still echoes through the golf course. I can still hear it when I go out there.
I'm on the hole 4 years later, and I'm telling you, I can hear that echo. Just listen. Hear that? I'm telling you. If you guys ever come to this golf course, listen for it.
2022 started out pretty good. I actually taught a class on how I turn written stories into movies. Resolution. This is, by the way, this is just taking notes, by the way, so.
So is this based on a story that you've already written?
Yes. Like, if it's raining outside, you have a scene to do outside, you gotta wait until it stops raining. So while it's raining, you can do a scene that happens inside. And that was a pretty cool thing I got to do. Also, my very first full-length Grandpa movie premiered in May of that year. That ended up being a big hit for me. And throughout the year, I just kept, getting better, making more videos and trick shots and just having fun. Later on in fall 2022, I started my second ever Grandpa movie called Grandpa and the Legend of the Golden Donut. This 43-minute movie about a treasure hunt that I made, and to this day is one of my favorite projects I've ever created. I remember the time of filming that movie, I was in my senior year of high school, and my mom and school teacher started to ask me what I was gonna do when I graduated. Because you know, at this time on YouTube, I was getting paid a little bit, but I really wasn't making much money. And one night my mom came up to me and was like, you need to have a backup plan for this in case things don't go the way you want it to. And I was always like, of course I've got a backup plan. And in the back of my head, I had no plan. I was so convinced that this was gonna work somehow that I didn't make any other plans. Over time, as I was making this movie, I started to realize that what if things didn't work out and I had to go out into the world and get a so-called real job, whatever that means these days, and do something brand new that I had no experience in. I thought about doing stuff that had to do with mechanical work because I worked at the golf course for 3 years, but my talent was in video making. I remember one day in January 2023, I was in school and I just got really emotional and upset, and I started telling my school teacher that I was gonna release this grandpa movie and just call it a day. I was ready to be done and just throw everybody a grand finale. I was depressed, I was anxious, I had no hope at all. And my school teacher decided that she was gonna help me write a resume for my video career in case maybe in the future somebody ever wanted me to, you know, film a wedding or something for somebody. And so I wrote this thing out and I left it on my desk and just forgot about it. The next day, my mom found it on the desk and decided she was going to write it out on her computer and post it in a Facebook group. And the next thing we know, the post was just blowing up. There were people all over the place recommending me to other companies. There were people that were sending me job offers. It was going absolutely crazy. And then there was a guy that commented and said he wanted to give me an interview. So a few days later, nervous, I drive out to this place and I walk in the door and this guy shakes my hand and we talk for about 15 minutes. And then he takes me on a tour of this building and there's psych walls, there's green screens, there's a podcast room, there's drones and cameras. And I'm just like, wow, this is a pretty cool place. And the job was he created advertisements for other people's companies. There were 2 other employees in the building too. So we finished the tour and he's like, how'd you like to start work tomorrow? And I'm like, what? Like, I just met you not even 20 minutes ago and you haven't even seen any of my work, and I was speechless. So I took the job and I worked with these guys 3 days a week until I graduated, and it was a blast.
They've been a huge blessing to work with. I've learned a lot about camera work, editing, and I just had a lot of fun with these guys. We've done shooting at proms and in limousines, and the shooting was so good that we got arrested. This was another great start for me. We gave my rooster an interview, we did trick shot competitions including cup pong. I got to film slapstick reels, some of which included Mr. Fritter.
What's this thing?
Oh, that's a green screen to put
Oh, cool.
Right back here, it's a dressing room.
Wow, let me take a look inside.
We did trick shots. We had a funeral for a drone. And just competition after competition.
Come on, Jackson. Yeah! Jackson! Yeah! All right, you guys. First person to go touch that white pole right there and back, $100. 3, 2, 1, go. Come on, Jackson. Jackson, come on, Jackson. We want the red shirt to win. Come on, Jackson. 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 Oh, you so lost, Jay. I got that on film. Up top, boy. Up top.
I even got out of my comfort zone and went to a college campus to have students rank food.
The guys at Social Ops also gave me this little trophy. It says, present to Jackson Pollock Best Actor Award, Social Ops Marketing. That was a really cool thing they did for me. I worked with those guys until I graduated, and I still work with them to this day. I usually see them when there's video shoots going on. The day I graduated high school, I celebrated by promoting my YouTube channel in a parade. So after working with Social Ops for over a year, I kind of came to the idea that I want to still work for them, but I also want to be making some money off of my own business, my YouTube channel. And I was before, but it wasn't really a lot. And maybe find some other jobs along the way. So I started making video reviews for Amazon, and that went really well. I just bought the livestock cattle rope halter off of Amazon.
This rope is really strong. The cow will never get away.
I still work with them today. I've done over 700 reviews, and I also started reviews for TikTok. But I wanted to do something with my YouTube channel and, make some money off of the videos that I love the most. I did get hired by a company called Gyroaster, where I did some videos of Mr. Fritter, and he used this thing where he roasted marshmallows. And the day that my video was posted, they sold out. So around 11 Bread 2024, I really didn't have an answer. I didn't know what I was gonna do with my channel. I knew I want to still make videos for children, but I didn't know if I would ever get, sponsored by anybody or anything. During 11 Bread in 2024, I started to pray really hard about it. I remember praying and I was like, Father, I don't know where you want me to go, but just show me the way. Send someone to me. I don't know what, just do your thing. And 3 days later, I got a message from Wave Runner.
They came across my YouTube channel and loved my content. They wanted me to start filming trick shots with their toys. They started sending me boxes full of toys and a lot of fun stuff to play with, and I started making trick shots and having a blast.
The partnership that I have with Wave Runner is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me. But that was just the beginning. I got hired by another company called Animals. And then I got hired by a company called Fit Beast. They have these grip strength trainers. But it all started with Wave Runner, and I'm very excited to see what the future holds with these guys. It's definitely been a gift from the Father to work with these guys. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares Yahweh, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." And every time I was ready to give up in my life and something like this came up, that was the verse that really hit me. Okay, yeah, so after I started my partnerships with all these companies, I finished writing my grandpa book. I started writing that in my junior year of high school, so it was nice to finish that, which I'll be giving away at the end of this, by the way, if you're still sticking around for that. I started writing it with my school teacher. There were 8 chapters total. And then one of my friends from the writing group I was in kind of was my mentor for the rest of the book. But that was a pretty cool thing. So over all these years, I had the privilege to meet Dude Perfect at some of their tours, and I FaceTimed Kobe when he posted his phone number for Wheel Unfortunate, and I visited their office a few times, and I, just got photos and autographs and thought that was good. But the Father had more planned. Earlier last year in 2024, I got a text message from Dude Perfect, and they were doing auditions to replace Ned Forrester's role. And I was like, why not? So I entered thinking, I probably won't make it in, but some of the guys I've looked up to for the longest will see my video and think it's pretty cool, maybe. So I sent them a video of Mr. Fritter. Here it is.
Hi, Dude Perfect. My name is Mr. Fritter. You can remember that by the awesome t-shirt that I built.
Hey, Mr. Fritter.
Oh, hey, Jackson. Do you like my t-shirt?
You look ridiculous. Is that an extra large?
Don't say that I look ridiculous because of how big my t-shirt is. Beauty is in the eye when you hold her. For real, though, how do I look?
You look pretty good. You got something on your face. Other side. Yeah, you got it. Have you seen my wallets? I can't find it.
Is it brown, made of leather, and about this big?
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
And a couple weeks later, I was talking to my mom, and I'm like, I don't think I won. It's been a while. They've probably already looked at everything, and I've chosen the winners. And my mom was like, well, they're probably still looking over it, but they probably haven't announced who the winners are yet. And I'm like, okay. The next day, I get a phone call from my dad, who somehow had the email, and I didn't. But Dude Perfect saw my video and they liked it, and they wanted me to come and be part of the event. I fly to Dallas and I walk into this restaurant, and Ryan Britton, one of the main guys that runs Dude Perfect, walks up to me and he shakes my hand and he's like, I forgot your real name, but you play Mr. Fritter, right? And I was like, this guy knows who I am. And then I see all of these guys from the YouTube channel, and then I see all the employees that I've been following on social media for years. and we're literally hanging out, and I meet Kobe on the street, and I go into the bathroom to change into my costume, and Cody Jones is standing right next to me, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm like, he is tall. And Panda was played by which wasn't surprising. And I got to audition for Dude Perfect as one of the characters that I created. You know, a lot of people have asked me over the last year if I won that or not. I really didn't find out until way later. I didn't end up winning the final round. But in all honesty, I did win. If you had told me that I would be doing Wheel Unfortunate with Dude Perfect, I never would have believed you in a million years. I mean, not every day people go and play football with Tom Brady or basketball with Michael Jordan. This is something that I will hold on to for the rest of my life. And it's all him. It's all him. There's nothing that I did to end up there. It's all him. And you know, I might have another opportunity with Dude Perfect in the future, because a couple weeks ago I actually got an email from them and they invited me to be in a airsoft battle video. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it, but I'm on a list now, and that is a blessing. Someone asked me recently, how do I measure success? And I told you from the beginning, I'm not defined by hitting a hole-in-one. I'm not defined by writing a book. I'm not defined by being on Dude Perfect. I'm not defined by the number next to my profile. You wake up in the morning and you realize that this means literally nothing. I'm not defined by the worst mistake I've ever made, and I'm not defined by the greatest accomplishment I've ever made. I am defined by my Messiah. Success is not a destination. It's an ongoing process. And he is my success. You know, there's a book that I read several years back that really changed my attitude towards a lot of things. It's called Pound the Stone. I love the author. He's got great books. Non-sponsored, by the way, and there's a few cuss words in this book, so I'm not too thrilled with that. But other than that, the book has a quote in it that says, it's better to train young boys than change old men. And I feel like sometimes people think that success is a destination. But I promise you, no matter what you do in your life, you are never going to be fully satisfied with what you have. The only thing that satisfies me is this, is him. Without this, none of this matters. I know that there's always going to be negative people out there that aren't going to like what I'm doing. And the people are going to say things like, you need to have this, you need to have that to be happy. But it's not true. Even though I didn't win the Dude Perfect audition, I won because of my Messiah. And the fact that Dude Perfect has told me that I'm good at what I do. If I were to take offense to negative people, I don't anymore. Messiah is how I measure success.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to JBP's top 10 favorite videos. That was a little too much.
I'll be right back. Alright guys, top 10 favorite videos I've created over the last 10 years. We're starting off at number 10. The Lego Egyptian Pyramid interactive video. This video is more like a game where you're helping a Lego man find a mummy in a pyramid. There's booby traps, there's the Nile River, and it was a lot of fun to play. If you haven't played that one yet, you should go do it. The greatest music video I ever filmed, the Sock Song.
Socks keep ticks and skeeters off your feet. In the winter they're warm and give your toes heat. If your ankles are dirty, socks cover them up. They're a great sponge to help you clean something up.
You cannot stop watching this video. And the song, very catchy. The real reason I actually wrote that song was because a lot of my friends kept asking me, Jackson, why do you wear socks every day? And so finally I'm like, I'm gonna write a song and I'm gonna explain why. And after I did that, I got no argument. Number 8, challenge video 2 with my friend Zach. My friend Zach and I go up against each other in these fun little competitions, one of which we're spinning and toilet paper's attached to us, or we're literally mummifying ourselves. That was a lot of fun, and I really liked that. Comment if you think Zach and I should have a rematch. Number 7, the Jackson Pollock paint video. True story, my actual name is Jackson Pollock, and most people don't believe me, even Dude Perfect.
Dude, guess who just commented?
Who?
On TikTok, Jackson Pollock.
Well, I'm pretty sure the real Jackson Pollock is no longer with us.
And one day I was like, you know what? I should do a paint trick shot video, Jackson Pollock style. I would be down for a part 2. And honestly, guys, with how sloppy I was in that video, I'm not that bad of a painter. Here's some of my better work. Number 6. Sister Edition. I decided to bring my sister Mallory into the game, and she and I had a blast doing this video. Lots of laughs, lots of memories. I've tried to talk her into doing a part 2 for years, but she's kind of busy these days. Number 5. Over the last 4 years, I've made 4 incredible Grandpa movies. The best one I've done, Grandpa and the Road Trip Out West. My family, school teacher, and I went on a 3-week road trip out west. And while I was out there, I had to do some filming.
Every place that you saw in the movie, we actually went to. Some of the places I didn't even show. We went to Zion, Bryce Canyon, Mesa Verde, Moab, Crazy Horse, the Little House on the Prairie Homestead, which was super cool after reading all of the books. We went to Utah Olympic State Park, which was awesome. And the crazy thing was I found out that about a week after we went, how ridiculous the YouTube channel was there. They've been in several Dude Perfect videos. They were the original world record holders for the highest basketball shot, and so on. We also visited the Harvest Right warehouse where they make the freeze dryers. The real reason that this Grandpa movie is my favorite one is because of all the places I went and the fact that Mr. Fritter is doing things that in real life would be super illegal. I over-exaggerated with the places he went to. He was stuck on top of arches, and it was just a crazy party out there.
Not only is that movie entertaining for other people to watch, but it's kind of like a memory vlog for me. Speaking of Harvest Right, number 4. The Harvest Right freeze dryer commercial, my very first sponsorship. At 14 years old, I won a video commercial contest, and it was one of the coolest things ever. That was pretty awesome. Number 3, this might shock some people. The Screaming Chicken Animals video.
What the?
Animals sent me the Screaming Chicken, and I played pranks, and I scared a lot of people, and it was just the most hysterical thing. I was laughing so hard that day. Number 2. My greatest trick shot of all time, and you probably already know which one it is. The golf trick shot video with the hole-in-one. A whole summer's worth of work added up into one video, and it also brings back memories from when I worked on the golf course. And ladies and gentlemen, video number 1. Everybody probably knows which one this already is. My audition for Dude Perfect. One of the best vlogs I ever videoed. Got to hang out with the dudes, have some fun, and our hotel caught on fire when we were down there. Woo! Comment below what your favorite video is from the last 10 years. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to give away the Grandpa book. The moment you've been waiting for. 8 hilarious chapters, and I am signing it right now in the front. There you go, right there. Now how you enter is you go to my social media post, you like it, and for a bonus entry, you tag a friend. Once again, guys, truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the last 10 years. It's been quite an adventure for me. Whether you've watched one time or you've seen every hour of my crazy antics, I really appreciate each and every one of you. And please know that there is no other way that I would be here without my Messiah. I don't know what the future holds, if I'll be doing this just for one more year or the rest of my life, but I'm going to put my trust in the Father and go down the path that He sends me. Once again, thank you for the last 10 years.
No one ever told us where the easy part begins. The story that they sold us keeps us hanging from the end. So we'll keep on starting the fires, thinking we'll smoke out the liars. We don't give up when we're tired. That isn't the way that I'm wired. Raging avalanches are the calm before the fall. Lightning, when it flashes, tells the story of it all. So we'll keep on starting the fires, thinking we'll smoke out the liars. We don't give up when we're tired. That isn't the way that I'm wired.